My biggest pet peeve is seeing guys out the door open and like who raised you? Like it genuinely pisses me off so much. Like, ew, like it's disgusting.
How amusing. Yet another demonstration of an individual who wants to complain about the problem, doesn't offer any solutions, and doesn't even seem to wonder for one moment how that behavior actually came into being, or whose fault it actually is. Because while a lot of women are very quick to blame the men in this situation, it hadn't occurred to them apparently that the reason why a lot of guys don't like to hold doors open for women anymore is because of how some women have treated them. Shocking, I know. But there are some women out there that so entitled to such treatment simply because they are women that they don't even say thank you when someone holds the door open for them. Because while someone might complain about a man not having good manners, there are lots of women out there with no manners at all. And then there's those women that actually tell men that they don't need them to hold the door open for them. They even get angry or yell at them. So, if a guy has that kind of experience trying to be polite for someone, what exactly makes a person think that they would repeat that again? But then again, some women don't like to take any accountability when it comes to the consequences of other women's actions.
Call me too woke. I don't care.
I think I'll wait and see what they say first.
If I got pregnant and I found out it was a boy, termination, abortion, out of there, immediately.
Misandry comes in many forms. And this particular belief is not all that unpopular. There are actually a lot of women who will refuse to carry a boy to term.
And no, I will not be elaborating or explaining a choice. My choice.
That doesn't surprise me one little bit. After all, it is rather difficult for individuals of that particular mindset to be able to even put into words, let alone a reasonable or rational argument, why exactly they're so prejudiced against an entire group of people, so much that they would not even allow members of that group to even be born. It is very hard to justify that level of bigotry after all. That's probably why they don't try.
Or feel bad for hating men. You shouldn't. You just shouldn't.
Oh, really? Why? This should be educational.
Like, even if you think you hate them like so much, you don't hate them enough.
Most reasonable people at this time would ask themselves, now why exactly should a person hate an entire group of people?
Like, there's no possible way. The years and years and years of them raping and killing and abusing and torturing women and girls is just, it's more horrific than our human minds can even begin to comprehend.
The logic displayed here is, since some members of a particular demographic did do horrible things and still do horrible things to other groups of people, every single member of that demographic should be held accountable, should be despised, be shown prejudice, and be absolutely hated because they are a member of that group. Oh, wait, what does that sound like?
If you ever feel like you're doing too much by being a misandrist or you're doing too much by hating them and thinking very little of the majority of them, you're probably not doing enough. You could probably hate them more. And I think that that's something to keep in mind.
Another thing to keep in mind is that being prejudiced against an entire group of people based on the actions of some members of that group is exactly how racism is continued to be perpetuated to this very day. Oh, but wait, that's an uncomfortable conversation for some.
So we're still celebrating Thanksgiving, even though it has so much dark history.
Here's an idea. If someone doesn't like something, then don't celebrate it.
I mean, I live with family, so I have no choice, but I'm not happy about it. I'm really not. It should be banned for good.
And then there's the types of individuals that, when they don't like something, they think it should be banned for everyone.
Guys want to be bitches so bad nowadays, like it's insane.
Oh, really? And how are we going to decide to try to degrade men today?
Like, it's fucking insane. Instead of the guy holding the bill for me, I had to hold it, but for you to say thank you.
Oh, no. So a woman got treated in the same way that a lot of men do when they hold the door open for an ungrateful woman. It's like some of them don't like equality when they get a good taste of it.
Like, it blows my mind how guys want to be bitches so bad.
What's really mind-blowing is that there are still actually some women out there that really do believe that simply by virtue of the fact that they happen to be women are actually entitled to not only special treatment, but also special privileges that should be afforded to them by, well, all men. But yet, they would be the very first ones to complain that they're not being treated as equals, but yet they still want special treatment. Can't really have it both ways.
Not trying to pay $150 on a first date.
$150 on a first date. I mean, who can blame them? Who would want to pay that much money just to get to know somebody, which I might add is the entire purpose of a first date.
$150 is honestly like an average cheaper price of going to eat out for two people nowadays.
Average, cheaper price. Where exactly are some of these individuals eating? That's not cheap. That's exorbitant.
If you can't afford that, maybe you shouldn't be dating.
If you're a woman and happen to agree with that particular sentiment, that $150 isn't all that much for a guy to spend on a first date, and you're one of those that actually expects a guy to spend a minimum of that much, then I'm just going to say it. You're not interested in getting to know the guy or starting a relationship. You're simply interested in the perks that you're getting for having someone pay for your meal or your activities. I wonder how many names I'm going to get called for that one.
I am in love with two men at once, and I don't know what to do.
Here's an idea. Choose one before they both wise up and regain their self-respect and make the decision for you.
I've never been so happy in my life.
Why? Because stringing two men along is apparently now something to be proud of. But might I add, if a man was making this post, they would call him a pig.
I'm in this like, I get to pick. I make the rules now. I'm in love with both, and I'm not going to decide in the next 24 hours. I'm going to let it linger.
Because that's what's fair to both of them, right? Sadly, there are women out there like this that will make a mockery of trampling all over a man's emotions and actually use it for a reason to make content.
I want to enjoy this space. Nothing matters. Honestly, if you need something from me, ask me today.
Let's try this. Try being a good human being.
And I'm in the best mood, and I don't know how long this is going to last. I have no idea if this will be till tomorrow, so ask me right now if you need anything. But I'm on top of fucking cloud 9, baby.
I really hope that they both see this and understand what type of person claims to love them.
I just don't think you should be able to start an argument when you're fat and ugly.
Oh dear. So what now? A person has to be attractive to get into an argument with someone? Okay.
Imagine you're having a serious conversation or a serious argument with someone and you're fatter and uglier than them. That's embarrassing.
No, I don't know. It could be worse. A person could be the least intelligent person in the conversation.
I want to be able to take you seriously.
Indeed. Apparently there are a lot of individuals that think this way, or else they wouldn't try to end conversations with insults.
I don't ever want to hear a man say women are emotional ever again.
Okay, well, how about a woman saying it? Women are usually more emotional than men.
Cannot think of a more emotional and irrational thing than men's anger issues and the things that set them off like a gig.
But I can. It's someone trying to say that based on the actions of some men's having anger issues, that an individual would try to lump all men in with those men. That sounds like it's coming from a place of pure emotion.
And protect and provide. Actually, men are the ones we need protection from.
I don't know about that. But frankly, in my opinion, the thing that a lot of women need protection from the most is bigoted and overly emotional thinking, such as the type that would actually group all individuals of a particular demographic together simply because of the actions of some. Because, wait, that's what racists do. But apparently it's okay for misandrists to do that as well, since it's men.
And women protect each other from men. The only thing these men provide is harm to women.
While it is unfortunate that some men are rather dangerous to women, and to other men as well, I would say that perpetuating bigotry is even more dangerous.
It doesn't seem to compute to modern women genuinely how insufferable they are. They don't get it. They think that they're God's gift to this earth. They think that men secretly like their attitude in some way. These women, they think at some point in time, men are just slow. Men are just slow. So at some point in time, men are going to get it. Men are going to understand what I've been talking about. Men are going to understand the error of their ways. And they're just going to start doing anything and everything that I want them to do. It's just going to happen at some point in time. They don't fully compute that, hey, maybe I'm saying some stupid stuff. Maybe I'm right on some things, but maybe there's some things that men are right on. And maybe I should try seeing their point of view for once. It doesn't seem to ever communicate or compute to them that, hey, you're not the only one in this world.
We dance, we kiss, we schmooze, we carry on, we go home happy. What do you say? Come on.
Okay, I have what might seem like a silly question, but what exactly is the logical reason why women should hate all men? Is there one? Because I have heard numerous reasons why women should hate some men. I have yet to hear an actual reason why women should hate all men. So I'm really hoping that someone can actually answer this question for me in a logical, reasonable manner. Now, I know that there will be some individuals out there that will call me names. That's to be expected. But that's only because they can't actually answer the question. So for those women that say they hate men, why? Why do you hate all men? Is it because some men did bad things and are still doing bad things? Is it because some men out there in the world have power and you think that women don't? Really, I'm actually hoping for a reason why someone would encourage hate. Unless, of course, it's just to turn a profit.
Can we talk about when a guy makes a girl pay or he doesn't open the door for her or he's just not being a gentleman?
Sure. Let's talk about that.
He's like, well, you wanted equality. Are you stupid? Are you stupid?
No, the guy in this scenario is not the one suffering from that particular problem.
We wanted equal rights, like women should be able to vote and stuff. What? That literally is.
Along with equal rights comes equal responsibilities. But I guess some women don't want to be treated as equals. They still want to be treated as less than men, so that they are deserving of being catered to. So some women didn't want equality at all.
No one asked to pay for anything. No one asked to open their own doors or carry their own suitcases. Don't be manipulative like that. That's crazy.
What's crazy is that some don't understand what the word manipulative means, because many women actually fought to be treated as equals to men. And yeah, that actually sometimes entails paying for your own food.
Don't flip it on us like that. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? We wanted to be able to speak and have a voice and get jobs if we wanted to. But please, that argument is so crazy to me. It's really funny. I'm like, oh, you're stupid.
It's always cute when, after saying such interesting things, that someone would still think they're the smartest person in the room.
Oh. Hey, mommy, tag me in.
They're gonna have to tag somebody in because that commenter blocked me.
She is very embarrassing. Very embarrassing.
I'm embarrassing? To who?
I presented several arguments. She never answered any of them. She didn't.
Well, that's because I never watched the video.
And she also stated bigotry against men. And she'll get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Is anyone else getting the feeling that they don't know what the word bigotry means?
So you're worried about men's feelings. You're worried about how men view us. You're worried about how we speak out against the things that men do.
I always find it amusing when someone tries to tell me what they think I'm worried about. But if you really want to know what I am worried about, it's narratives like, this is you, right? Talking about reducing the entire male population simply because you don't like them. Now that's embarrassing.
We know what men will do when they have unchecked power. They will harm, they will abuse, and they will lie. So when I say send the herd, I mean send the herd. Because the only way to get rid of such an oppressive or oppressor is by making sure that they don't even come into existence. I said what I said.
Yeah, they said what they said. And that is what's really embarrassing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We should call this, How Can I Make Myself Out to Be a Victim Today, while still maintaining the idea that I'm a strong, independent woman that doesn't need a man for anything, who probably lives in one of the most privileged countries in the entire world, but probably didn't have the common sense that it takes to actually ask any of those individuals sitting down, whether they be a man or a woman, if they would surrender their seats so someone else could sit down. Most likely because they were afraid that that person might actually ask them why they should be sitting down instead of them when they got to the seat first. I wonder if they would have been willing to answer that question.
At the end of the day, all men want is to watch football, drink light beers in a jerk circle with each other, and just like be gay for each other. That's what they really want.
Fascinating. Not the least bit true, but still fascinating.
They don't want to be in a relationship. They don't want to get married.
Person could actually say that about both men and women. A lot of individuals are actually choosing to remain single and are very happy for being so.
If women can provide for themselves now, I feel like men have lost their purpose. Like,
Their purpose. What exactly was a man's purpose prior to women being able to support themselves, I mean?
they don't feel the need to seek out a woman as her family. They don't feel the need to like work really hard to make a bunch of money to like make a family and provide for a woman. Like they don't want to do that. They just want to be with each other in a jerk circle, watching football and drinking light beers.
I'm just going to say, there's nothing wrong with a person choosing to remain single. It doesn't make a person a better person than someone else if they're in a relationship. There's nothing wrong with being single, and it's about time that some individuals out there accepted that.
In the year of 2026, if you insist on having a man in your life, he needs to be doing backflip super somersaults through hoops to be in your life.
Why would any sane, self-respecting man put himself through that? Why would they do backflips to be in a relationship with a woman who obviously doesn't respect him as a man?
There is no more compromises. There is no more 50-50 relationship. What the fuck is that? These men are scary. They are scary.
Some men are. But you know what's even scarier? The fact that there's a lot of women out there that seem to think that all guys are the same. That's terrifying.
Oh my God, we need reform right now. We need reform.
Right. I agree. And I think it should start with a lot of guys staying purposefully single until some of these women out there remove their head from wherever they have it stuck, thinking that they're God's gift to humanity.
I'm midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming?
This is for those that happen to think that that little stunt was funny. I would actually like someone to explain to me why this is funny. Because yes, there are unfortunately some women out there that are afraid to walk alone at night. But I feel I should mention, because apparently this isn't well known, there are men that are also afraid to walk alone at night. And yes, I do understand that some women are going to argue that women have always been afraid to walk alone at night, so therefore it's only reasonable that men understand what women have been going through. Okay, so you're assuming that they don't simply because that they're men, that they don't understand that there's dangers out there in the world. So naturally, the most reasonable thing that some women could do would be to try to scare men into being afraid. What exactly good are you doing in the world?
If you're currently pregnant or you're going to have children soon, you understand that, it's not a good time to have kids.
If we were to ask the subject matter experts, when exactly has it been a good time in the history of humanity to have children?
And if you're willingly trying to get pregnant, I'm not happy for you. I'm actually not congratulating you at all. And I think you should get rid of it.
It's really quite amazing how many individuals out there really seem to think that their uninformed opinions actually matter to the average person.
And I'm sorry that might be a little harsh, but nobody should be reproducing right now. The world is literally dying. We're overpopulated. We just don't need more babies.
But what we do need more of is joy and hope for the future and a desire to do better. And those are things that children often bring to those who need it.
There's a bigger thing about this one. Let's help some of the people right here instead of making unnecessary extra people that will just use up resources. I know it's really harsh to say and live animals or something, but babies provide no benefit whatsoever.
Was that the voice of experience speaking? Because there seem to be an awful lot of individuals who really don't seem to serve much purpose at all in this world. But I digress. But one person should really not be telling another person if they should have children or not. Although I would agree, there are some out there that really aren't fit to be parents.
I actually do not think men should have an opinion at all on having children. I really don't.
And why would that be? Men do contribute to the process of creating children after all. So why shouldn't they have an opinion?
I genuinely don't think men should have any say in whether a woman has kids or not. I don't. I'm sorry.
So they don't get a choice in whether or not they get to choose to contribute? Or are they talking about something else here?
If you're like, oh, I want like a whole soccer team, it's like, yeah, of course you do. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is like, maybe for 5 seconds, I can do a little something, maybe if you're lucky for 5 seconds.
So because they don't put forth as much effort in regards to birthing the child, then they don't get an opinion on whether or not the child is created.
If you were lucky enough for a woman to choose to have a child with you, you should feel so fucking lucky, not entitled to it. You should feel so grateful and lucky and blessed and not at all entitled. Like, who are you to be like, yeah, like, she's going to give me like this and this many kids? Girl, fuck you.
I'm really starting to believe that a lot of individuals out there don't think that communication in things called healthy relationships actually exist, because many couples actually do discuss how many children they want to have.
Of course you want to be a dad. Have you seen the way society treats fathers versus the way they treat mothers? Yeah, if I could be a dad, maybe I want kids too.
Are they watching the same thing that the rest of us are watching? Because fathers are often not treated very well.
I genuinely do not think men should have any opinion at all on having children. I really don't. I really don't.
And I don't think those that are really uninformed on particular subject matters should actually speak on them. But we don't always get what we want.
And so what if I hate most? Like, what about it?
Well, sadly, there really isn't that much that can be done at this point to change the mind of someone who has decided to despise an entire group of people.
Like, wow, you really caught me there, didn't you? And the men who come onto my page and comment that I'm a misandrist or that I hate all men, like, as if that's my fault.
Actually, it is. A person does choose who they choose to despise, most especially if they have then made the decision to despise an entire group of people. So why try to deflect the blame away onto the men, most of which have not done anything wrong?
I'm not the one causing men to be shitty human beings. I'm not the one causing you guys to act out in the way that you do. I don't know, be more likable if you want to be liked. I promise you it's not that hard to be a good man.
It's not that hard to be a good human being either, but there are those out there that often do fall short.
There's only a couple of things that you have to do to be liked by women. 1, develop basic empathy skills. 2, don't be a pedophile or a sexual predator. And 3, care about women and our rights. I don't see how it's so hard for you guys.
And I don't understand how some out there really don't seem to understand that most men aren't the monsters that some of you honestly seem to want them to be.
There are a lot of men who are pathetic fucking deadbeat losers.
Well, we could say the same for some women out there too, couldn't we?
You can call me a misandrist, you can call me a man-hater, I genuinely don't care. Because the majority of you guys have never done anything that deserves you being liked by a woman. And the men in the comment section who are inevitably going to be mad at this video, they are pathetic little bitch losers.
Ironically, individuals that make this type of content need those types of individuals to make disparaging comments, or else they wouldn't have any content at all.
The good men who don't need to proclaim to the world that they are good men are not going to have an issue with this video. And if you come into my comments and you tell on yourself, that's on you.
Really? So, in order to be considered a good man, they just must lie back and take it. Wonder what that sounds like.
Sometimes you gotta laugh because the stuff that these modern women are releasing on the internet, like how are they getting away with that? It's a free country, I guess. It's a free country. That's the only thing that I know. Because they sit up here and say, well, we're going to cancel you, or we're going to stop your account, or, kind of censor you or ban you from saying certain things about women because it's a protected group. But then you sit up here and allow women to openly say, I'm a misandrist. At some point in time, at one point in time, they were saying, oh no, that's not me. I'm just trying to get fairness and equality. And, I'm just mad or whatever it might be. I was just frustrated in the moment. But now these women are saying, not only am I a misandrist, I'm a raging misandrist. Number 1, number 2, number 3, you should be one too. Here's a sign up. At some point in time, are we going to say, hey, maybe you shouldn't be saying that?
I fully believe that 95% of all men in the United States would have taken a plane ride to Epstein Island.
You know what I fully believe? That there are some individuals out there that are so deluded that they would actually be so desperate for likes and views that they would not only try to convince themselves of such a thing, but others as well. Just imagine having the audacity to accuse 95% of the male population in one country of being so depraved that, well, listen to this.
Even with full knowledge of what was going on there.
Oh, gentlemen, it gets worse.
For most of them, what was going on there would be the feature, not the bug, but the rest of them would be making excuse after excuse to get on that plane.
Just imagine the level of loathing that a person would have to hold in their hearts towards an entire population of people, might I add, based on a characteristic that they have no control over, to say such things. Quite frankly, it's women that say things like this that honestly sometimes make me embarrassed to share the same gender as them.
I'm teaching my 5-year-old daughter to be a misandrist.
Let's be very clear. Someone is teaching a child to be prejudiced against an entire group of people.
They tell you why I'm doing this and how.
The why is quite simple. Because men are one of the few groups of people that people can still openly discriminate against and be prejudiced to without facing any social repercussions.
My daughter is going to grow up in a patriarchal society, just like I did as a millennial. And I want her to go into the world with an inflated sense of self.
And this is how they're going to accomplish it.
Her doctors, her dentist, any sort of healthcare provider that we go to, I always make sure is a woman. I mostly listen to female artists out of preference. And the other day she asked me if men could be singers too. And I said yes. And I know the world is going to beat her down. And I want to make sure that she doesn't take it.
So instead of teaching a child to love themselves and respect others for the qualities that each individual person has, this is what they're going to go with.
Told her that women are smarter than men, that men take power, but women have innate power inside of us. But in society, we don't always have as much power. And I told her that women are better leaders.
Interesting, isn't it? Instead of teaching a child that men and women, although they do have innate differences, do have equal rights, should have equal opportunities, and should be respected equally, and that a person can respect each other's differences. Instead, they teach them to despise men, because that is what misandry is. It is not standing up for the rights of women. It is despising men for being men. Let's not get that twisted.
I genuinely believe that every single woman deserves to receive $10,000 a month from her husband, from her boyfriend, whoever you're with. Let's have to show his appreciation for you.
$10,000 a month for appreciation. Right.
And I think that is a standard that all men should be held to.
Of course they do. It's always those that seem to have excess money that are always very free with everyone else's. But it kind of makes a person wonder, what about those individuals that necessarily can't afford that $10,000 a month?
As a man, if you cannot hold yourself to that standard, then you should not be dating at all, honestly. And you're just not financially ready to provide. You're not ready to be in the scene.
The scene. Indeed. And for those who haven't done the math yet, that comes to approximately $120,000 American dollars per year just to, in some cases, just date some of these women.
And even more importantly, you're just not ready to get married yet.
There is nothing classier, after all, than someone with a classist mentality. But gentlemen, here's a reminder. A woman that genuinely cares about you is going to want you to invest your money in something that is important, long-lasting, and for the future, not just to spend it on them.
Men will be like, I'm not paying for dinner. And I'm like, okay.
And now we are going to hear some of the irrational reasons why some women think that men are obligated to pay for the first date.
And Botox this week was $440.
What? Just why?
I have a session with my trainer. I pay her $330 a month.
I wonder if they're aware that not only do some gym memberships cost a lot less than that, but a person can actually work out all by themselves for free.
I got my nails done this morning. That was $150.
I'm sorry, but remind me when the last time a guy worth any woman's time ever said that he would have gone out with her, except for her nails weren't perfect.
My hair is another $250. I spent over $1,000 maintaining my appearance this week. They can pay for dinner, ladies.
Somehow, I have a feeling that they would have spent that money on themselves, whether there was going to be a man in the picture or not. It is not a man's responsibility to pay for a woman's personal vanity.
I hate this so much, not know why we're also doing it. Oh, it's the patriarchy. Because what? What do you mean?
Oh boy, here we go.
He took the lowest intelligence, the lowest emotional capacity, the least amount of empathy, the most selfish, the most idiotic, most simple fucking minded people, and we let them believe that they are superior in society.
Do you think they realize that the way they described men is exactly the reason why a lot of women dislike the supposed patriarchy? Because that's exactly how some of those men describe women. But yet it's okay when a woman does it. Yeah.
And the reason we let them believe that is because they are actually incredibly so far beneath us, so inferior, in fact, and their egos cannot handle it, so they explode and they murder us and they do all sorts of violent, horrendous things when we don't let them believe that they're superior.
Wow. This is actually an argument to try to convince others that women are superior. It's not going very well.
Like, do you hear it? Do you hear it? Like, everything is catering to men. It's like having a special needs class with the kids in the school that are violent and disruptive and they refuse to learn and they're always in each other's spaces and they're causing problems. And so you put them in this other class but you don't want to hurt their feelings. So you make sure that they know that, oh, no, you're just in this class because you're better than those other kids, right? Like, you're over here because you're so special in the wonderful way that you just need these special things. Don't change. We're going to cater to you and make sure that you feel good in your environment instead of asking you to adapt and have empathy and growth and actually like learn and be a part of society.
A few days ago, I did a video indicating that some women are actually very quickly becoming the monsters that they say that they despise. Yet here we have an instance of someone behaving in the exact same way that they say men do towards women. But might I add that some women will actually back up this type of behavior because they feel that it is justified. Something about when you hunt monsters, be careful lest you become one.
Women need to wake up and realize that their man is not the exception.
And here we go.
I don't care how good you think your boyfriend is, how good you think your fiance is, how good you think your husband is. He is not a good guy. There is no such thing as a good guy.
Person really shouldn't generalize people like that.
Ask your man right now, are you a good guy? He's going to laugh. He's going to laugh because he knows that he's all good.
What exactly makes some of these women experts on the entire male population?
Every man has a devil inside his brain and inside his head. And it's only a matter of time before that gets activated a little too aggressively. And
Oh yeah, saying that makes it so believable.
I know this is a really depressing mentality to have, but it's also a realistic mentality. And if it doesn't happen, great. But the odds are not in our favor. Okay, we are not men. Therefore, we cannot think like men. We are not inside their brain. We do not know what goes on. You can imagine.
And even then, some women still have the absolute audacity to try to say that they know what goes on inside men's minds when they've just admitted that they have not the slightest clue.
But I think a lot of women are seeking a woman in a male body. They want a man to think exactly like we do. And that's not possible. You have to think rationally when you're dating, when you're in a relationship, that this is a man with a devil inside of them.
Couple things. Firstly, ladies, if you want to be taken truly seriously when you speak, don't go off on rants like this insinuating that there's a little devil living inside men. And secondly, remember, people like this actually convince other people how to vote.
Not all men. Okay, hire a male babysitter then. To be alone with your children, in charge of your children. Unsupervised. Without you there. Yeah.
I don't think most reasonable people would have a problem with that. But I do understand that this is supposed to be one of those gotcha moments where someone has a grand epiphany because they're expecting the usual answer to be no.
Why not? Wait, why not? Hire a teenage boy or hire an old man. Oh, wait. You want to do? Wait, but you do that with an old lady. Wait, what's the problem?
See, what they're doing here is projecting their own prejudices onto most people because they seem to be assuming that most reasonable and good parents wouldn't vet an old lady because they're harmless. But yet they would have scruples about leaving them alone with a male. But a lot of women like to leave this part out of the conversation. The majority of perpetrators of maltreatment against children is actually done by women.
Oh, so like not all men, but like enough of them to like make you feel like comfortable about it. Because you're like, wait,
and they say prejudice against males doesn't exist. I think it's high time that a lot of women get recognized for the effort that they really put in, holding up so many double standards. Because it has often been said, if it wasn't for double standards, some women wouldn't have any at all. Because I've noticed that women are often praised for being very finicky. But most people will just call it having high standards when it comes to those individuals that they date. And don't get me wrong, a person should have standards when it comes to who they choose to date or even interact with. But yet men often get shamed for having very similar standards. For instance, if a guy doesn't want to date a woman who's over a certain amount of weight, often shamed for doing so. Why is that? Why are women allowed to have standards men are so often criticized for having, if not the very same, very close to the same standards.
If you're with a guy and he makes a big stink about how Valentine's Day is a stupid holiday and it's a corporate holiday and all that, he doesn't like you.
But it is a corporate holiday. Why don't some individuals want to believe that? Oh, that's right, because they've actually bought into the idea that one specific day means more about love than any other day of the year. And honestly, I think that's why a lot of relationships are failing, because there are so many individuals out there convinced, mainly women, that if a guy doesn't do something specifically for you on Valentine's Day, then they don't care about you. But a lot of people realize that corporations are just out there to make money. What's so hard to get about that? Because if your partner really does care about you, they are going to show you every other day of the year that they do. They're going to show you in little ways and big ways that they value you. And if you put all of your hopes and dreams specifically on one day, hoping that that's going to be it, I don't know what to tell you.
These are some questions you should never, ever, 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 ever ask a man.
Let's see how single women are trying to keep other women single today.
Number 1, are you hungry? It doesn't matter if he's hungry. That's not your problem.
So caring.
Number 2, do you need something? You're not there to fulfill his needs. He's there to fulfill yours.
Thanks for demonstrating that someone doesn't know how relationships actually work.
Number 3, how are you feeling? His feelings don't matter. Only yours do.
So much for some women having empathy.
Number 4, do you like this? Whether it's something that you made for him or something that you're, wearing or whatever, or something that you got. Unless you paid for it and, he offered to buy for you and you want him to get his money's worth. No, don't ask that. But otherwise, you don't need his validation for anything, for any reason. Because why? His opinion doesn't matter.
I can think of somebody else's opinion who really doesn't matter that much either.
Can I help you with that? He doesn't need your help. He's a man. He does not need your help, okay?
I wonder if they consider men and women to be equals. Because that would mean that women don't help for men either.
What can I do for you? Or what can I do to help you? Nothing. The answer is nothing.
Why didn't they just title this video, How to Make Sure That Your Relationship Absolutely Fails in Every Way Possible? That would have been much easier.
These modern women, a lot of them have the audacity. They say a lot of stupid stuff. Like I said, they're now out here talking about, I'm a misandrist. I'm teaching my daughter to be a misandrist. And this is essentially the same thing that they was doing with feminism. Oh, I'm teaching my daughter to be a radical feminist. I'm teaching her to do X, Y, and Z. Why are you doing that? She's going to grow up thinking that, number one, she's entitled to a man's protection and his provision. And then when a man says, oh, well, I'm sorry, I didn't know it. Well, that's just how you be a decent human being. Right, I understand that. But you talking to me this way doesn't make me want to protect and provide for you. Y'all know when y'all get into a relationship and a man says, man, I would really like to be intimate tonight. Well, the way you've acted this week hasn't really made me want to be intimate with you. You've been mean to me. You haven't helped me around the house. You haven't, done anything for me to make me feel like you actually care about me, to make me feel like you actually love me. So to be honest with you, I don't feel like giving my body to you. And I should be able to say that because I have consent over my body. And so a man, when you do this misandrist and radical feminist bullcrap, he now has the ability to say, hey, listen, I understand that you want protection and provision. I understand that you want somebody to sacrifice it to help you do whatever it is that you're doing. I get it. But the way you've spoken to me, the way you've treated me, the things that you've said to me on social media, about me on social media, online where everybody can see, my family, my community, everyone, doesn't make me feel very good. And it doesn't make me feel like I want to give my body to you and for you. And now you're upset and you're asking, who's going to be the boys? Where are the boys at? Where are all the men?
Isn't that men think that you like them if you're nice to them is because they can't fathom being nice to somebody they don't like?
I have a hot take too, and I don't think that a lot of individuals are going to like it, especially if you agreed with the drivel that was just uttered. I'm feeling a little spicy today, so let's have some fun. So, there is a very common belief, because I have heard that particular idea uttered numerous times. There does seem to be a lack of originality out there on social media. Some just keep repeating the same things over and over again as if somehow doing so will make it true. But that is not exactly how truth works, but I digress. So, if you actually believe that most men are going to automatically think that a woman likes him just because she is kind to him, because naturally, in your opinion, you seem to think that men would never be kind to someone that they don't like, well, obviously, you have not encountered a great many men in this world, especially those that have manners. Because manners do seem to be almost going extinct among a lot of individuals. But the average man that has the average amount of manners is going to also be kind to someone that they don't necessarily know, because that is called just being considerate. And a lot of women don't take this into consideration because they themselves lack manners.
PSA for every man that's crippled by rejection, Dove for cat.
If rejection was so hot, then women would be into it. But most women have never actually approached a guy, so they have no idea what rejection is actually all about.
Literally stopped approaching women because they're afraid to get rejected. They're afraid to be called creepy. Fill the blanks.
I would be more than pleased to fill in the blank, especially for some women that aren't quite ready to admit it. But a lot of men just don't want to approach women because it's not worth their time, and they're happier being alone by themselves and happily single than they are being entangled with some of the women that are available out there. Some women don't like hearing that.
And when we act out of fear, we create the reality we're most fearful of. So reminder to just shoot your shot, put yourself out there, and know that perfection is literally never personal. It's actually a hot topic courage to convince. Go out to Ray-Bon.
Well, guys, there you have it. More mixed messages, because there are still a lot of women out there that are telling men to leave them alone. But yet there's some women out there that want men to approach them. Yeah, but sorry, ladies, a lot of the guys simply don't want to.
Oh, always have guesty. I go on mail, guesty. My neck killing
Then maybe, just maybe, someone should have planned a little bit better so that they could actually arrive in a reasonable period of time so that they would have access to a seat. What a thought. There are a lot of women out there that say that they want to be treated as equals. So they want equality, except for when the time comes to actually be treated as an equal with a man. A woman is not entitled to a seat. The person who gets there first is the one that gets it.
Men, I have a question for you. What do you bring to the table? Yeah.
Well, that's always a fun question. Although I'm not exactly sure why some women seem to view it as a gotcha moment.
You want to ask girls all the time, well, what do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? Because I'm sure as fuck, we all bring a lot more to the table than you do.
If by we, they mean women in general bring more to the table than men, then generally women shouldn't have a problem answering that question then, should they?
The amount of men I've dealt with this last year, I fucking hate men.
I'm shocked to hear that. Really? They seem so open-minded.
I love arguing with men. I love it so much. It's my favorite pastime because they're all so stupid. The more men I have to deal with, I'm just like, oh my God, you're a fucking idiot. You're a princess.
This'll be fun.
Like, you want to be interviewed. You want us to ask the questions. You don't want to do any work. You want us to travel to see. You want us to pay for things. Anything fucking else, princess? You need one of my tampons out of my purse too? Like, oh my God, you're fucking annoying.
Who else noticed? It happens quite often. I don't think they actually picked up on what they were doing. See, a lot of individuals, especially those that don't like men, when they try to make men look bad, they attribute characteristics that are stereotypically applied to women to men to make them look unintelligent and weak. So what does that really say about their opinion about women?
Guys should pay for the first date and every date after.
Okay, but why?
Guys are the ones that are going to be the provider, and so if they can't afford to take you to McDonald's, then they can't afford to marry you.
I have a question, and it's mainly for the women that are of the opinion that it's a man's main duty to be the provider in a relationship. And this is my question. What exactly do some of you women see yourselves doing as your responsibilities in this relationship? Now, I'm sure that there are some that will be more than pleased to uphold the traditional role of being a homemaker, a loving wife and mother in some cases, and taking care of the household. But I'm sure there are others that do not see that as their role in the relationship. And my question is mainly for them. If you do not see yourself as a homemaker and the man is the main provider in the relationship, what exactly is your role in the relationship?
If a woman acts like a child, then she's dating a man.
Let's try phrasing that a little bit more accurately and see if it still sounds good. So if a woman acts in an infantile, immature, not completely cognitively developed manner, then that means that the guy she's dating should be complimented as being a man.
If she acts like a man, then she's dating a child.
If she's acting in a way that's responsible, loving, and possibly caretaking, then that should be taken as an insult to the guy that she's with.
And if she acts like a man, then she's dating a fucking loser.
So if they're acting confident, self-assured, independent, and most of all, responsible, that naturally means that the person they're dating is a loser. Right. Sometimes I really don't think that a lot of women think these things through because, quite frankly, it makes women look really bad when they say stuff like this.
There is no bigger turnoff than being around a man who thinks he's doing you a favor by being around you.
Let's make that statement more correct. There should be no bigger turnoff than being around a person that makes you feel like they're doing you a favor by being around them. Remember, unless both individuals are benefiting mutually from the relationship, then it's not a relationship.
What separates me as a misandrist from feminists is that my hot take is that you cannot cheat on men.
This has to be rage bait, right? No one could be that truly special.
It's not possible. Like, that doesn't exist. Cheating on men does not exist.
Person is probably wondering, how exactly does someone come to that conclusion?
That men cheat women out of joy and opportunity every single day of their lives, like it's their job. They are conditioned from birth, and they have been conditioned for generations, like centuries and centuries, millennia. So there's no such thing as cheating.
What's really terrifying is that I believe they actually believe what they're saying. And what's even scarier is there are some that actually agree with these statements.
Say you're in a hetero relationship with a male, you can do whatever you want. It's not called cheating. It's not called cheating. You are barely even leveling playing field. You are just fine.
And some women actually have the audacity to wonder where the phrase originated, 100 women versus accountability.
I want you to feel zero guilt because men aren't even capable of feeling guilt for like a shred of the shit that they do.
After making statements like that, now who would ever dare question their credibility?
Well, yeah, hot take it or leave it. Don't care. It's the truth.
The truth? Oh dear. What wonderful and dangerous times some individuals live in when they actually consider their own uninformed opinions to be the same as the truth.
If you go to a man with a simple problem and he doesn't fix it, understand he hates you.
I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. That has to be one of the biggest, most convoluted stretches in logic that I have ever actually heard. And to think that there are some women that actually want to be taken seriously when they say stuff like this. But to their credit, at least they use the word hate correctly.
And any man who hates you will kill you.
Just imagine the type of internal conflict that a person that would have this particular type of mindset have. Because first of all, they would actually have to think of new and interesting ways every single day to try to manipulate men who they obviously despise into getting them to do exactly what they want while trying to put on a facade for everyone else around that they are actually strong and independent, yet still insist that men do everything for them, including solve their problems. It would be absolutely exhausting.
You know, Americans never leave the country. There are places other than America, like get your passport and get out of here. Why are you always here?
I actually consider that to be a reasonably good question. Why don't more Americans travel abroad? Well, please allow me to answer that question. Well, a lot of individuals in the United States do put priority first and foremost on paying their bills, their rent, their mortgage, and buying groceries and taking care of their families. And oftentimes, many people that live in the United States don't even take holidays or vacations. So international travel is really out of the question in some cases. And then there's the other reason, which I don't think a lot of individuals really take into consideration as often as they should. And it's exactly how huge the United States actually is. In some cases, it can take several hours just to travel across one state by car, let alone travel across the entire United States. And many people that live here have not even seen the entirety of the United States. But as a person who has traveled internationally previously, I can recommend doing so. Although it is perfectly reasonable if a person doesn't, and it is absolutely understandable.
A lot of these women say a lot of stupid things, and then they wonder why men aren't paying attention to them anymore. They're wondering why men have decided to move away from messing with them. Oh man, the least you could do is be friends. Why would I be friends with somebody who is actively trying to get me canceled? And this is what I mean. So when a man has to be friends with a lot of these modern women, it is for their benefit. When a woman says, hey, I know I didn't like you. I know you like me, but I want to keep this friendship. Men can't, and a man moves on. Men can't have a platonic friendship. They can't be platonic friends with women. Why not? This is one of the reasons right here. This is one of the reasons. Women say a lot of silly stuff about men, and they're going to want a man to agree. A lot of these ladies, not all of them, but a lot of these ladies out here, they'll say that I believe this and I believe that, and then expect a man to get on board. And a man is like, of course I don't believe in that because I don't do it. Oh, well, it's just you, the general. No. None of my friends do that. I can think of maybe once or twice that I've run into that issue. So I'm not really familiar with people who did that type of thing either. Oh, well, that's just your experience. No. Statistically speaking, men don't do this. Statistically speaking, the vast majority of men, 80 to 90% of men don't act this way. So it's not just my experience. It's not just my friend's experience. It's not just my mama and my daddy's experience. Most men don't do this crap. And you sitting up here trying to make me go along with something and admit to something that most men don't do. Most men know how to behave. And if they don't know how to quote unquote behave to your standards, I know how to move around. I know how to keep my distance. So you don't got to worry about me because I'm not even over in your face. But yet and still, modern women are trying to blame men and put everything on men. And men are like, nah, man, we're not doing that.